gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert's Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. All Elite Wrestling All Out Preview. Alright, this is the fourth show in All Out's history. All Out, as we all know, came into birth January 1, 2019. We go live on TNT October 2nd. Wednesday Night Wars began. So much has been going on about NXT going over to USA Network, off the WWE Network, head-to-head with AEW. People talking about having to choose between AEW and NXT. No, you don't. You ain't got to choose. Because here's why. Number one, you have DVRs, don't we? We all have DVRs. If you have streaming, you have it on demand. If you have a DVR, you can still have it on demand. You can watch it on the TNT app. You can watch it NXT on the USA app. You can watch NXT the next night on the WWE Network. You don't gotta choose. Watch AEW live, or record it on your DVR. Watch NXT, record NXT, watch NXT on demand the next night. There's so many options, unlike the Monday Night Wars of the Attitude Era, where you only had a VCR. You could only record and watch one show at a time. At least now we have the ability to record. Some DVRs can record 10 shows at a time. There's no Wednesday Night Wars. It's just wrestling for wrestling fans. AEW is, I don't mean this in a bad way, it's a glorified indie company. You know what? I am fine with that, because some of the greatest wrestlers are on the indie circuit. It is a chance for the independent wrestler who goes out there night after night in these small little 100, 200 folding chair arenas or ballrooms, putting on some of the greatest matches in wrestling, to have a way to showcase that. It is people like the Young Bucks, like Kenny Omega, who have done this, been there, done that. They go to New Japan, became superstars. Here they are back in the United States, doing their thing here, and having a show. Cody, who's been with WWE, who is a star with WWE, now he's going to be a star with AEW. He is one of the founding fathers of AEW, just like his daddy was a founding father of NXT. Now they go head to head. So you know what? I think it's great for wrestling, and I am all in. All out in this case. We're going to run down this card. We have 10 matches. We got some things that I wanted to kind of, feelings about AEW that I want to kind of share and stuff. I hope everyone checks this out. Definitely next week I'll try to get reviews up. I know I've said that before and didn't do it. My bad. Life does happen, you know. So first match, we have two. We have two pre-show matches. First match, we have Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Queen versus Angelico and Jack Evans, also known in AAA wrestling as Los Guerreros de Cico. I guess I said that right, I don't know. Basically some Lucha Libre flipping guys. This match is going to be just, crazy. Could be match of the night, actually. That's how good these four guys are. Private Party, if you've not really seen much of them, which I really haven't, but I've seen kind of being the Elite, what they've done with the Bucks. They had the match at House of Glory against the Bucks, which I haven't watched it. I do have it, but I haven't watched it. I know the Bucks won that match, but still, they kind of put over Private Party. I think Private Party is going to be kind of I don't say a project for the Bucks, because the Bucks are running the tag division, but I think it's going to be we're going to kind of push them up because they are that good. Because they have Private Party winning this, which is nothing against Angelico and Jack Evans. I think they're two-time AAA tag team champions. I think they're going to be high up on the tag team division. I think when we start this tournament for the tag titles, both these teams will be right there. I actually think, I'm going to say it right now, I think Private Party will be the first AEW tag team champions. We have the next match. We have the 21-woman Casino Battle Royal. The winner of this Battle Royal goes on to October 2nd, live on TNT for the first ever AEW Women's Championship. We only have 10 women announced. Still 11 spots. The ones that we have announced: Nyla Rose, Britt Baker, Allie, Brandy Rose, Teal Piper, the daughter of Roddy Piper, Ivelisse, great talent there. I've seen her a lot in Lucha Underground. Jazz, former WWE, former NWA Women's Champion. Big Soul, never heard of her. Sadie Gibbs, never heard of her. Awesome Kong, we all know Awesome Kong, former TNA Women's Champion. A little cup of coffee in WWE. Now, there are some women out there on the indies, some of the top women wrestlers on the indies that could show up, that could be a part of this, that may be on the AEW. One name that comes to mind, if you watch Being the Elite, Tyler Valkyrie. Tyler Valkyrie and I guess his name would be Johnny Elite, Johnny Mundo, Johnny Morrison, Johnny Impact, whatever you want, whatever company's in, Johnny Defy, whatever company is in is Johnny whatever. So it'd be Johnny Elite. Formerly known as John Morrison, him and Tyler Valkyrie were on the last episode of Being the Elite. So she's actually currently the Impact Women's Champion. So I don't know if she can double dip it or how that's going to work, if she's even going to be part of the company. But I do see her there. Sierra, she's currently the NWA Women's Champion. Kimberly, she's been wrestling a lot in AEW. Lufisto, Tessa Blanchard, there's another name out there, one of the, I would say, the best on the indies. Former Impact Women's Champion, Jordan Grace. She was at All Out last year in the Casino Battle Royal. She had a great showing. She kind of put her name on the map then. That's where really, I've heard the name before, but I'd never seen her wrestle until then. So it's been 1 year, and she's just taking the world by storm. I'm going to go, just like I did for the Casino Battle Royal at Double or Nothing, when I went up Adam Page and he wasn't even announced for it. I say Tyler Valkyrie wins this. I think she's going to sign, she's coming in, she's winning this. She's going to go on to TNT and win the first ever AEW Women's Championship. Next up, we have a 6-man tag. We have Luchasaurus versus Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, a boy and his dinosaur, teaming up with Marco Stunt, and the 6-man versus SoCal Uncensored. This was kind of build up on Being the Elite. So if you've never seen Being the Elite, or you've never seen the Road to All Out, definitely check this stuff out on YouTube. There's some great information there, great kind of storylines. Being the Elite has kind of been their early TV show, where they kind of build up feuds, they kind of build up storylines and stuff. We heard on the last Being the Elite, which we'd already heard on SE Scoops, that Tony Schiavone has signed with AEW. Everyone who's watched professional sports has that one announcer. You know, the guy, that voice you hear in your sleep, that voice you can hear every moment of pro wrestling has been JR, it's been the King. You have that one announcer for this generation, Michael Cole, where you hear that voice, you know who it is, you know what's about to happen. For me, that's Tony Schiavone, WCW fan. If you go back and watch Bash at Beach, the debut of NWO, Hogan's turn, hearing Schiavone go, "Here comes Hulk Hogan, he's here to help WCW," and you have Bobby Heenan going, "What if he's the third guy? No, he's not. He wouldn't do that." And then he does it. It's like, holy shit, people. This was great. This Tony Schiavone, it's always been my guy, my wrestling announcer. He ain't the greatest announcer, I know that. Some people think he's the worst, but you know, whatever. I'm cool to see him here. Rumor is 3-man, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, Excalibur. I'm done. That's all you need, AEW. That is all you need. But yeah, definitely seen this match kind of build on Being the Elite. I'm picking SoCal Uncensored to win. I wouldn't be surprised if a boy and his dinosaur and his midget win, but you know, hey, whatever, you know, it's going to be a cool match. Nice little 6-man there. Next up, we have what's being classified as a Cracker Barrel Clash. Cracker Barrel being a huge sponsor of All In last year, continuing their sponsorship at AEW, which is kind of cool. But you know what? These 3 guys in this Cracker Barrel Clash, Darby Allin, Joey Janela, and Jimmy Havoc, put them with Jon Moxley and create a faction. Oh my God, what a hardcore faction that would be. But yeah, I mean, Joey Janela has kind of made a name for himself with Game Changer Wrestling, GCW. Watched some stuff there. He's been a great announcer there, a great in-ring talent. Jimmy Havoc, God, he's been crazy over in Progress. I mean, he does some of the sickest shit in hardcore matches. Darby Allin, I've been watching him come through Evolve. Just a great hidden talent there. We see the match with Cody, and that was great. So I think this match is going to be just as good. I think it's going to get on the hardcore side. So if you're squeamish, yeah, there's going to be paper cuts. And that's one of Jimmy Havoc's favorite thing is take his picture and do it between your fingernails and on your lip and your tongue. Like a paper cut. Oh, God. It's freaking sick, and he'll dump salt on it. Just whatever, you know. But yeah, this match will be crazy. I think Darby Allin will get the victory, kind of putting him over here. Next up, we have Rio versus Hiro Shidia. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but I had read something where the winner of this would face the winner of the Battle Royal for the title. Not sure if that's still in play because I really haven't seen much on it lately. If that is the case, I have Rio winning this. Rio, she started wrestling when she was like 13 with Omega over in Japan and all Japan wrestling. And he's known her from the kind of underground wrestling over there. And he thought she was great talented. And as you know, I don't know if everyone knows, but Kenny Omega is the executive vice president of the women's division for AEW. Okay. We need to bring in some known talent. Yes, Britt Baker is talented. Yes, Eva Lisa is talented. Now, are they officially signed? Or just in the Battle Royal? The main women's roster right now is kind of weak. If you're wanting to compete, and the Bucks kind of said they're doing their own thing, they're not really worrying about the other company, but NXT Women's Division is going to be top tier. We have Shayna Baszler feuding with Rhea Ripley, getting ready to start. So that match is going to be freaking epic. So, but they need to kind of build up the women's division. You need a Talibacker, you need a Lufisto, a Sierra, a Tessa Blanchard, Jordan Grace. You need those kind of names in there to give more prevalence to the women's division. So I have Rio winning this. Next up, we have the winner of this tag match gets a first round bye in the AEW Tag Team Tournament. We have the Best Friends, Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta, versus the Dark Order, Evil Uno, and Stu Grayson. As creepy as the Dark Order is, they have all these little minions with the stocking caps on, and they're kind of creepy to me. I'm not really a big fan of them. I think because of what they've done in the past in PWG and feuded with the Bucks and stuff, the Bucks think highly of them. That's why they brought him in. I think they will win this. I think they get the first round bye. I think the finals of the AEW tag tournament would be Dark Order versus Private Party, with Private Party getting over. I just kind of see, I know they got some established tag teams, but I think they want to build the next. I think eventually you're going to have a Private Party versus Lucha, Private Party versus Evans and Helico, and some of these other tag teams they've brought in. But I think the Bucks are going to kind of show off these talent that people don't know, but kind of mix them with the talent that people do know. So I got the Dark Order winning that in that first round bye. Next up, we're supposed to have Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega, but we're getting Pac and Kenny Omega. Okay, I'm down with that either way. It's going to be a different style of match. When you have Kenny Omega versus a Moxley, Moxley's more of a straightforward, hard-nosed brawler kind of guy. Pac is more of a finesse kind of flyer kind of guy, so it's going to change up Kenny Omega a little bit. I've seen Kenny Omega for 11 years now. He's one of the best in the world, always has been. I remember a 2008 Ring of Honor show, Kenny Omega versus Davey Richards. From that show on, I've been a Kenny Omega fan. Me and J-Man left that show, and we would do wrestling cards and do different things, playing around. I always had Kenny Omega on my roster. I always thought the world of him. And so, I think Pac will get the victory, because Pac's got a thing now where you can't lose. But I think Pac will go over here. He was supposed to have been signed with AEW the whole time, so we'll see where this goes. I know he's been Dragon Gate champion for a while. He lost that title recently. So we'll see what happens. He's been doing some stuff over in Rev Pro. So he's had some good matches over there. So I do have Pac winning here over Kenny Omega. Next up, we have the AAA World Tag Titles on the line in a Escalada La Muerte ladder match. Mexican ladder match. Basically, it's a hardcore, crazy ladder match is what they're saying. So you have Lucha Brothers defending those AAA tag titles once again versus the Young Bucks. This is the second time they've been defending on the AEW pay-per-view. Now, I think, I've told a few people this, and they look at me like I've got 3 eyes and 2 heads, that during this match, it's going to be a crazy ladder match. We all know what the Lucha Brothers are capable of. We all know what the Bucks are capable of. Now, we know that Rey Fenix has been hurt. Supposedly, it's not a broken leg, which is good news. I haven't seen anything online saying this match was canceled, but I know he's been hurt. So I don't know if that's going to change what they do, if maybe Pentagon's going to do more, or what Phoenix is going to be able to do or not do. So that's going to kind of determine, I think, the level of this match. We know this can be a 5-star match. What I actually see happening is something that's happened on any show, kind of a version of it. Before I go over the winner, I'm going to go back to February 23rd, AAW Art of War. It was a triple threat tag match for the AAW tag titles. We had a team called LAX, the Latin American Exchange, Santana and Ortiz, versus the champions, the Lucha Brothers. Lucha Brothers are champions here. Versus a team called Firefox, which is Myron Reed and AR Fox. The Young Bucks, the Bucks of Young, came out in that match. And a distraction cost the Lucha Brothers the titles to LAX. Recently, LAX has ended their contract with Impact Wrestling. They're a free agent. They're looking at WWE. They're looking at AEW. What if those same guys, Santana and Ortiz, now they can't be called LAX because that is Impact, and Impact said they can't have it. So we have Angel Ortiz and Mike Dreslick. EYFBO was their indie name. What if Santana and Ortiz, we'll just call them that, they show up at the end of this match as a distraction again? This time, helping the Bucks win the title, like the Bucks came out and helped them win the title in AEW. We have LAX in AEW now. We have a feud set up between the Bucks, Briscoes, and LAX, which will be just as crazy as can be. We have another great tag team from the Independents on AEW. Now, there is this match set for October 2nd on TNT, first episode of, AEW Explosion or whatever we're calling it. I haven't even seen a name yet. We have a 6-man tag already set up. The Elite, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega versus Jericho, 2 mystery partners. Everyone is saying, oh, that's LAX then. LAX has showed up then. I don't think that's pop enough. I think LAX shows up here. I think this crowd will pop like shit for it. I think on that show you need a bigger name. Two ideas for that. Kaz and Enzo. They've kind of got back together a little bit at Northeast Wrestling, NEW. There's actually talk of WWE wanting them back. For whatever reason, I don't know. Uber talented guys. Enzo's got a mouth that won't stop. They think they would be enough of a name that people were watching AEW for the first time going, okay, I know this guy, but I don't know this guy. I know this guy, but I don't know this guy. Oh my God, I know these guys. Either that or Heart Foundation. People are like, what? What would you mean Heart Foundation? Yeah, the Heart Foundation. In Major League Wrestling right now, there is a faction called the Heart Foundation. Teddy Hart, who is the nephew of Bret Hart, Davey Boy Smith Jr., who is the son of the British Bulldog, also a nephew of Bret Hart, Brian Pillman Jr., you heard me right, if you don't know it, Brian Pillman Jr., spitting image of his daddy, the loose cannon Brian Pillman, who was a friend of the Harts, who was trained in the Hart Dungeon. Teddy Hart is starting his own Hart Dungeon. They are called the Hart Foundation. They are from Winnipeg, Canada, from Canada, the same as Jericho. What if they show up, TNT, Heart Foundation walks out? How many old school WWE fans, old school wrestling fans, is this what was kind of what AEW is trying to go after, is that wrestling fan who watched it, got away from it, now is coming back to it. You see Heart name, you see Heart Foundation, Davey Boy Smith Jr., Brian Pillman Jr., and Teddy Hart. Gold. Because you know what? That's going to get people to watch, because they're going to say, oh my god, that's British Bulldog's son. That's Brian Pillman's son. And hell, I want to see Brian Pillman Jr. versus Jon Moxley, because Jon Moxley's character was made off of Brian Pillman Sr. So I'm all good about that one. But you know what? Could happen. It could be LAX. It could be CM Punk. Punk is in Chicago. I'm going to throw that out there too. If Punk's going to debut, it's going to be here. Alright, so I have the Bucks winning the tag titles with the distraction from LAX debuting. Next up, we have Cody versus Shawn Spears. Supposedly, Cody had said that Shawn Spears was a good hand. In the wrestling business, a good hand means you are a mid-card jobber. So that's where the chair shot heard around the world happened. When Cody took that chair shot to the back of the head, 12 staples later, Shawn Spears in the wrestling business went from here to here. You have a sit-down interview with JR and Shawn Spears, and at the end of that interview, you have Tully fucking Blanchard walk out. Spears went from here to here. You have the entire wrestling world talking about the chair shot, about Shawn Spears, about Tully Blanchard. Why did Shawn Spears do this? Shawn Spears and Cody were as close as brothers. Shawn Spears and Cody, because of Cody's offhanded comment, went from close as brothers to better rivals. The chair shot. Tully Blanchard, who was a rival to Cody's dad. The Horsemen were a rival to the Rhodes. Who's going to know the way the Rhodes thinks, the way the Rhodes family think, their mannerisms, everything, than somebody who was a rival, somebody who knew the Rhodes family inside and out? Shawn Spears, Tully Blanchard. As we've seen on the road to All Out, contract is signed, Cody's training. Who's going to be in the corner? One person is allowed in the corner. Who's going to be in Cody's corner? That is the biggest question. Will it be Brandy? Will it be Dustin? Who's it going to be? I'm saying Arn Anderson. Here's why I say Arn Anderson. Who was another member of the Four Horsemen? Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson. Who knows what Tully thinks in somebody who's close as his brother in the Horsemen as Arn Anderson? Arn Anderson can give Cody the insight of what Tully is saying to Spears. It's just this 30-year-old rivalry between the Horsemen and Dusty Rhodes coming full circle into a friend of the family in Shawn Spears and the son of the American Dream on AEW. And we're watching this all take place. All because Cody said Shawn Spears was a good hand. Shawn Spears retaliated with a chair shot heard around the world. Here we are. This match will be epic. There's no way with the build they've done this match and everything they've pulled into this match can't be great. I have Shawn Spears going over on this match. He's already got over. He's already over. He's going over. He got over, now he's going over. I got Shawn Spears winning this. People are going to think I'm nuts as fuck on this, and Cody will probably win, but I'm fine with that. But I'm going to pick Shawn Spears. Next up, we have the main event to crown the first ever AEW All Elite Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion. We have the legend. We have Y2J Chris Jericho versus Hangman Adam Page. These two guys are more alike than you guys and everybody will think. I did a little research. Yep, I like to look things up. Adam Page started wrestling professionally May 28, 2008. He's been around 11 years. Chris Jericho started wrestling 29 years ago, October 2nd, 1990. Before Chris Jericho became the Chris Jericho that we all know and love now, back in his ECW, WCW days, he'd won the ECW TV title, he'd won the WCW TV title, WCW Cruiserweight Champion. Adam Page, before now, won the only title he's ever won in for Major League Professional Wrestling was the Ring of Honor 6-man titles with the Bucks. The Hung Bucks, which was great. Now, Chris Jericho's career changed forever, December 9, 2001. In one night, he beat The Rock for the WCW title, I believe it was, world title. He beat Stone Cold Steve Austin for the WWF title to become the first ever undisputed champion. Chris Jericho went from a start of the card kind of guy to a main eventer by beating Rock and Austin in the same night. He did that 11 years into his career. Adam Page, 11 years in his career, is going up for his first world title against Chris Jericho. What better way have Jericho put over Adam Page? So Adam Page, AEW first ever world champion, he beat the guy who beat Rock and Austin in the same night. He beat Chris Jericho to do that. How does that not just shoot Adam Page to the freaking moon? Because how many people are going to tune in to AEW going, he beat Jericho? Jericho beat Rock and Austin. Holy shit. Holy shit, this guy's that good. So, All Out. We have Adam Page becoming the first ever AEW World Heavyweight Champion. We have the Young Bucks winning back the AAA tag titles with LAX debuting. Now, we had on Triple Mania from AAA Wrestling, we had Kenny Omega challenge Ray Phoenix for the AAA Mega Championship. AAA is going to have a show in New York on September 15th. AAA invades New York. I think we'll have some AEW guys on that show. So we'll see where that goes down. I'm picking Private Party and Dark Order to be the finals of the tag team tournament, which we'll see what happens when it takes place on AEW television. I have Tal Valkyrie making her AEW debut and winning the Casino Battle Royal. Could be completely wrong with that. She may not even be in it. That may just be whatever I'm just dreaming up. But hey, you know what? We'll see what happens, right? That's what professional wrestling is. It is 90% opinion and 10% fact. The 10% fact is who won it, who lost it, who was there. The 90% of, I think this is going to happen, or I rate the match like this. That's all. Whatever, each person is different. But you know what? That's what makes professional wrestling so much fun. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. I'll try to get reviews up next week. Great big weekend in pro wrestling. Saturday night, All Out. Saturday afternoon, we have NXT UK TakeOver Carta. In the morning, starting at 11 o'clock, only on Fight TV. You have New Japan Pro Wrestling Royal Quest. On Friday night, you have only on, not even live, but only able to see it on Rev Pro streaming, Summer Sizzler, which will have a match for the winner of the tag tournament from Rev Pro. Will go on to Royal Quest to face the Girls of Destiny for the NJPW, IWGP World Heavyweight Tag Titles. Say that 10 times fast. So yeah, there's a lot of wrestling this weekend. I'm going to try to do my best to watch most of it over the weekend. Get reviews up next week. If you're a football fan, check out my Week 12 of the college football. Week 12 of the Canadian Football League. Week 1 of college football next week. NFL Week 1, College Football Week 2, and Week 13 of CFL. A lot coming next week. Stay tuned to Robert Sports Show, and don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader, sports channel content.